Only 1% of people reach this level of thinking. There is a level of thinking where your mind understands something before you can explain it. You meet someone for the first time and something feels off. You can't point to a single reason. You haven't consciously analyzed their words, their face, or their behavior. Yet something inside you says, something isn't right. Most people call this a gut feeling. But psychology has a more interesting explanation. Your brain is constantly collecting information. A tone of voice, pause before an answer, a change in someone's expression, a repeated behavior, a situation that feels strangely familiar. Most of this information never reaches your conscious mind. Instead, your brain stores these tiny details and compares them with patterns from your past. And when enough patterns match, your brain can produce a conclusion before your conscious mind understands the evidence. That's pattern recognition. And when that conclusion reaches your awareness as a feeling rather than a logical thought, we often call it gut feeling. But then there is something people call the sixth sense. It sounds mysterious, but in many situations, what feels like a sixth sense may simply be an extremely fast form of unconscious processing. Your conscious mind says, I don't know why, but I know. Your unconscious mind may already have processed hundreds of tiny signals. The strange part is, you experience the final answer without experiencing the calculation. That's why people who experience this kind of thinking are sometimes told, you're just overthinking. But thinking deeply and overthinking are not the same thing. Overthinking creates more possibilities. Pattern recognition reduces possibilities. Overthinking asks, what if this happens? Pattern recognition says, I've seen something like this before. And gut feeling is often what happens when that recognition becomes a sensation before it becomes a sentence. This is what makes these processes so important to psychology. Human thinking isn't only conscious reasoning. A huge part of it happens silently, underneath awareness. And perhaps the most fascinating thing about the mind is this. Sometimes your brain reaches a conclusion before your consciousness even knows how it got there. That's not magic. That's the mind recognizing patterns faster than the mind can explain them. So next time you get a strong gut feeling, don't immediately ignore it and don't blindly trust it either. Just pause and ask yourself, what did my mind notice that I haven't consciously noticed yet? If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone whose intuition is rarely random. See you in the next video.